It's 2:18. It's the Mike Missanelli Show. We're live from Eagles training camp, and we got the main man in the hot seat right now. The Eagles head coach Andy Reid joins us. Andy, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Mike. Ready to roll.
Good to see you. And I was here this morning and just kind of trying to get a general feel for this camp, and it just seems to me, and maybe I'm overreacting, but it just seems to me that there's a different feel to this camp. Now, I don't know as a head coach how you feel about it, but it just seems less pressure. Do you feel that?
Well, I look at the fans are all out here, so they keep it pretty intense, and I haven't sensed that. There's a lot of change, and sometimes change is good, and it creates an energy and competition for these new positions, and that's what we have right now.
I think that's what it is. I think it's an energy, but I think it's a happier energy. I think fans are more involved in the newness of this whole project.
Yeah, I would buy that. Yeah, they've been wild, and so that's a good thing. I don't want them to peak too soon, but they're doing well.
All right, now you're here for an awful long time, and I noticed today that the hitting was scaled back a little bit. You plan to do that for the rest of the camp?
Well, we came off 3 hard days of hitting, and normally this practice, that one that you saw this morning, normally it's like pulling teeth. And this crew here came out and they went right through it. It was smooth sailing, and they worked hard and challenged each other. It was all FUD periods instead of the live periods like we've had in other days. But we'll kick it back up. There'll be a few more live periods.
Do you feel that this year is a year where people are expecting less from the Eagles nationally? Because normally you come into a year and the Eagles are a contender for the Super Bowl, and there's this pressure whether Don was going to finally win the Super Bowl, the whole bit. And now people are kind of like, sliding you under the radar a little bit. It's a little different, isn't it?
Well, that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. That's I don't mind that. I don't get caught up in even if we're favored. But
no, yeah, sure you do. Absolutely, you got caught up in it. When you're favored, you don't feel that pressure as a head coach when you're favored? Come on.
You can't worry about all that. You just got to take one play at a time. So, but anyways, this is fine. We're in the groove and trying to get better, and that's what we're concentrating on.
All right, let's look now at your offense, which seems to be in very good condition. First of all, let's talk about the quarterback and how his progress has been so far this game.
Well, you know what? I think he's done a nice job. We've known more about him than say what we knew about Donovan before he was able to step in and be a starter. Just because Kevin's been there. He's been through training camp and a few times, and he's taken the third and second reps and now the first reps, and every day has been a steady improvement, and anticipate that throughout. We've thrown a lot of things at him. We haven't held back any of the offense. We've challenged him, and he's risen.
All right, the theory is, or the plan maybe, is that he's a guy that fits this offense a little better than the previous quarterback because of his ability. You love to advance the ball with maybe a 6-7 yard patterns. Now that hasn't happened in the last couple of years because he's thrown the ball downfield a little more. Do you think Kevin Cobb is more suited to the pureness of what you try to do offensively in the West Coast offense?
I've heard that. I don't see that. I think every quarterback kind of puts their own mark on the West Coast offense. Donovan was developed, and you remember this. You were here at that time. There was a point where people said Donovan couldn't throw the ball down the field. By the time he was done here, he was one of the best downfield throwers in the National Football League. So everybody kind of works within the offense and does their thing. And for whatever we took off of some of the short passes, we increased the deep ball and had success with that. And I think Kevin could do both. We'll just see how it turns out. But I don't think either one is better suited for it. I think they'll both put their own mark on it.
Would you agree that you have the deepest crop of wide receivers and running backs that you've had as a head coach?
Yeah, I would say that at least at the wide receiver spot, this is quite a group right here. And I mentioned in our press conference today that you got a lot of power forward-looking wide receivers. 3 or 4 of these guys that are just big-bodied guys that are strong, play inside, play outside, and then you've got the speed.
You also brought in a couple running backs. You brought in Bell, you brought in Arrington. You've got Shaw coming in second year. So you're pretty deep there. Does this mean, here's the $1 million question, does this mean you will run the football more?
Do you want us to?
I would like to see it.
Okay, we're going to run it more. The first time you say we need to throw it more, then I'm never coming on.
I will never say you need to throw. I will never ever say you need to throw more. But so is that a definite answer? You go run the football a little more?
Like, how much do we run it now?
You committing to
What
that?
percentage do we run it now?
35?
Oh, come on. No.
Well, sure. It's like what? What is it? It's 35, isn't it? 40? What?
Yeah,
What do you
yeah,
think? It's
yeah,
40?
it's
All right, so
up
it's
up to
60-40?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, well then I'm mistaken. So does that mean you'll go 50-50?
We'll get close. Just for you.
All right, let's talk about the offensive line, which, I mean, in your press conference, you didn't seem to be that worried about the offensive line, but there's a lot of guys that are banged up right now. I think you feel you have some depth. I mean, are you concerned at all about how that sets up right now? You got a couple guys that you don't know about.
Yeah, well, if you told me I could have Jamal and Harriman's in there, yeah, I'd like to be out there. But at the same time, we've got guys that have played, and played at a high level, and so I don't mind that. I'm not I'm not losing sleep over that. That's if we didn't have the depth, I'd lose sleep over it. But this is
All right, we're talking to Eagles head coach Andy Reid. Now, Andy, I don't know if you saw the paper today, but the quarterback of the Washington Redskins had something to say today. Now, I'll read you the quote here.
And this is gospel, I know.
This is gospel. I mean, this is quoted from Donovan McNabb, and he was talking about how he would have been perfectly content to finish out his career in Philadelphia. I had already said I wanted to stay there. Andy said, "You're going to be my guy. Don't worry about it." But I've seen it happen through the years with other guys like Troy and Bobby and Doc. They communicate back and forth, and it's, yeah, you're our guy, but then you're not. It seems to me he's still a little peeved about it.
But you know what? He's with a heck of a team. He's going to help them out. And listen, I have nothing but good things to say. And I don't get into all the quotes and all that. I have nothing but good things to say about Donovan. He did a great job when he was here and helped us get this program to where we're at.
All right, but settle it for us right now. What was the reason why Donovan McNabb is no longer the quarterback for the Eagles and Kevin Cobb is?
Well, it's what I mentioned before. You know, you had three quarterbacks in the last year of the deal, and really we just sat back and listened and took calls, and it came down to the Washington Redskins wanted Donovan.
Yeah, but if he was really your guy, you would think that the head coach says, no, he's my guy, he's going to stay here. Right? Isn't that logical for a regular fan to think that?
Yeah, well, I'm not going to get into all the particulars, but it's done now.
Well, yeah, it is, but I'm just trying to get you to reflect on it because I see this new openness in you. You have this new openness about you.
You do? Well, I just closed it.
No, seriously, regarding that openness, you seem to be a little looser now that you're in your 11th year as a head football coach, and I was wondering if you can explain why you've gone down that road.
Well, it was that extra 12th year. That was it.
Well,
See,
12th
you lost.
I'm sorry.
You shorted me.
It's the
1
12th
year.
year. I'm
That's
sorry.
right.
I'm sorry.
No, we've been doing this a long time, Mike.
Yeah,
So,
it's
I mean,
12th year.
I remember sitting over at the Holiday Inn, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so,
but you were more close to the
I
vest.
was.
Now
I was.
you seem to be a little,
I'm older and more relaxed.
Is that what it is?
That's right.
Now, why are you relaxed? What's happened in your life to make you relaxed?
You know what? I'm really not. I'm really not. I just, I'm trying to, I've got this youth on this football team, and that's exciting to me. And it brings out, I feel the energy. I feel the energy of the group, and it's just, it's a good experience.
You get your PR guy here, Derek Boyko. Now, Derek, he does seem a little looser, doesn't he? Would you acknowledge that?
It's the same
He's the same guy? Well, maybe to you, but to the general media, does he seem a little loose and easier to be around?
I don't have microphones.
All right,
You're making your debut right
He's not
here,
going to
right?
commit. You've heard the public assessment of your coaching ability. There's a lot of people out there that say, great architect for a football team. Maybe on game day, you lack a little something. When you hear criticisms like that, what do you think?
Well, I think you're going to hear criticism until you win the Super Bowl, and we've been close. I think our fans deserve a Super Bowl. I think our coaches have worked very hard, and the players that are involved have worked so hard. They deserve it. So, listen, I don't mind the criticism. that's going to happen. I understand how the sport works, and but I'm going to stay focused on continuing to get better every year at what I do, and get this football team to a Super Bowl.
Is there anything you wish you would have done differently? When you assess your career, anything you wish you would have done or not done?
Well, you got me in the grave. I'm still going.
No,
that's a retirement question. When I'm sitting,
well, it's the middle of the career question, really. And I'm going to ask you, how long do you think you want to coach?
I'm glad you said that. Middle of the career.
You were in the middle of your career. Do you think you'll be a 30-year head coach, like a Landry type of guy?
No, I don't know that. I've really, I haven't really thought about retirement. I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and as long as you keep firing the fastballs at me, I'm gonna keep swinging. So
you're swinging pretty good. So as long as you're in the mood to swing, let's talk about Brett Favre.
Okay.
Now, Brett Favre today, the word comes out that he's either going to retire or he's not going to retire. We don't know. If he retires, he leaves the Minnesota Vikings in a pretty lousy spot because they were counting on him to come back. If they called you tomorrow and said, we'll offer you a second-round pick for Michael Vick, you'd be interested?
Well, first of all, listen, I've been asked this question, not the one you just asked about Michael Vick, but the one about Brett Favre. I've been asked the last few years, and I'll answer the Michael Vick one when Brett has really made up his mind. And Brad Childress came out and said that really he hasn't earned it. Now that's a head coach.
Yeah.
So it sounds like one of the questions I was asked before. He said, and I have a feeling he's probably going to be out there playing.
You do. So you're not taking this.
Well, I haven't, I can't.
Yeah, so you would answer the hypothetical. If he's not playing and they call, they're desperate, and Brad's your buddy. And he says, listen, I got to have a quarterback. I can't go with Tavares Jackson. I need Michael Vick. Would you be interested at that point?
Well, I'm not going to answer that. I mean, that's a hypothetical question.
It's a very hypothetical.
Yeah.
And I love to throw those hypotheticals at you, just to hope that you would bite.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Isn't it ironic that Deshaun Jackson is not talking, but you're very loose, much looser? Is that ultimate irony to you? Do you see that?
This is what you have to know about Deshaun. Deshaun is focused in on playing. That's what he's focused on. He knows that things are going to go towards the contract, and he don't want to deal with that. He wants to deal with making this football team better and playing the game. And that's it. And he's made that very clear to me, and so that's what he's doing.
Andy, you got practice this afternoon. What are you guys going to be doing this afternoon?
We've got a 10-10-10 practice, so what does that mean? That means that the offense gets 10 plays, the defense gets 10 plays, and we repeat that a couple more times, so the offense gets 30, the defense gets 30, and then you have a little special team period after that.
Last question. Brandon Graham looks pretty good to me. I mean, I've only seen him one day, but he seems to have that jump on every play. He looks like a kid that loves to play. You see the same thing?
I do. He's got a great attitude, and he's a sharp kid, and he loves to play the game, so that is very important. He is so powerful in his lower body. You see that. He's able to get very low when he comes around the corner and pass rush, and really strong at the point. He's got a big rear end and big thighs and big core strength and can hold the point.
Is he good against the run? Because that's, I know the questions say, well, yeah, maybe he's a quick pass rusher, but
when I say at the point, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
at the point. Yeah,
okay.
At the
So
point, that means he's pretty good with kids.
Andy, we appreciate you stopping by. Thanks very much. We'll look forward to seeing you during the season.
All right, Mike. Always a
All
pleasure.
right, there it is, Andy Reid, ladies and gentlemen. And you do like these shorts I'm rocking,
No,
right?
listen now. Listen, where's the skateboard?
Oh, nice. I like that on the way out. Think what I mean about being looser? Andy Reid, ladies and gentlemen. 610-632-0975. And we'll take a break right here on the Mike Missanelli Show on 97.5 FM. Hey, I love it. Hey, thanks, Matt.
The commissioner. Hey. Thank you. Hi.
Thanks, Sarah.
Here you go. Videotape, I know how to. Oh, keep going, commissioner.